In this deep dive video, we're going to take a look at using Revoice Pro 5 to create a vocal harmony. For the purpose of these deep dive videos, I'm working with a stereo instrumental. But please note that you don't need to create and import an instrumental track because our deep DAW integration enables processing to be instantly heard in context. So there's a lot of different reasons why we might want to do this. For sake of this demonstration though, I'm going to say that we're editing vocals, we're starting the mix, and we realize that things could sound a little bit bigger and it would have been really nice if we created a vocal harmony, but we don't have access to the artist anymore and the vocal tracking session has long gone and we need to use what we have to work with. In that case, let's take a listen to the lead vocal.
Guess I need somebody like you. Need somebody like you.
So I've got it tuned and it sounds pretty good. That being said, I am leaning on the side of making this sound as natural as possible. So I'm not flattening out my pitch traces too much. And in general, I'm happy with the vibe and the sound of that. So what we're going to do is actually use this as a starting point. Now I'm going to head to tracks and let's go to add tracks. Let's add one new audio track. Now the same way that we can drag and drop a Revoice Pro output onto a track in our DAW, we can do the same thing internally from within Revoice Pro. So I'm going to hold down Shift and Option or Shift Alt on a PC, click Hold, and as you see, we have this little icon that appears. Now I'm going to drag and drop this on the track below, and let's spot to original timecode. So now essentially we have the exact same thing that we had in the top track over here, but this has actually been rendered as a brand new output. So the tuning has been baked in. This will give us a really good starting point in which we can make our adjustments. Now from here, I'm going to quickly rename this track. Let's call it Harmony. Now I'm going to solo this out and we are going to use the full screen option. But one thing I do want to point out is in the background, by clicking the one key or really any of these keys, I can solo any track I want. So if I want to listen to my harmony in context with the actual lead vocal, I just need to click the one key. So let's go full screen and we are going to right click and adjust pitch, timing, and level. Now I need to make a couple decisions here. The first thing that I need to decide is how hard I want this to be tuned. In general, when I have elements that are background elements, I'm not opposed to them being a little bit more hard tuned than the lead vocal, especially if they really need to anchor down and serve a specific role like being a harmony. So in this case, I'm going to make a selection of all the notes that I want to pitch correct over here. And we can slide across here. Let me use the K key, which is going to bring up the center pitch notes. Let's make sure these are all snapped to 100%. These ones don't look too bad over here. And these ones don't look too bad, but I'm going to kind of go through these really, really quickly. Another thing that I want to do though, is let's zoom in here. And there's a couple issues that I want to fix. I'm going to grab the draw tool. And let's just use the draw tool to kind of iron out some of these, let's just call them little jumps in the pitch. We'll scroll across here. We have another one over here, and I'm just using this to make this process as quick and easy as possible. And let's scroll over one more time. I'm going to use this one here as well. And now let's hop back to the beginning, and we need to make a decision in terms of how tight we want to tune these. So I'm going to highlight across all of these pitches right over here. And let's just zoom in a little bit and let's just start pulling down the pitch trace. And let's say that I'm happy with that. And also, I'm just going to bring this up a little bit. Let's have a quick listen to how this sounds. And keep in mind that we are soloing the harmony track, but we're making adjustments to this.
Guess I need somebody like you. Need somebody like you. Need somebody like you. You again.
Everything sounds good. I'm okay with these being a little bit more loose, but these ones, I almost want them to kind of drone on that harmony, but we do need to fix one more thing over here. Let's take this pitch right in the center and click hold, and we're going to drag that down. I'm going to switch over to the draw tool, and let's just draw a transition between these two. So as my starting point, we are going to opt to tune the harmonies a little bit higher. Now it's just a matter of bringing these in against our lead vocal.
Guess I need somebody.
So what I'm thinking is I'm just going to highlight these, hold Alt or Option modifier. This will snap to semitones. Let's have a listen to how this would sound. Double clicking and pushing the one key, which solos the lead. Let's listen to them together.
Guess I need somebody like you.
Okay, so that sounds good to me. Let's go ahead and do that for all of these. Select all of these ones over here, holding Alt or Option. And then these ones over here, same thing, Alt or Option. Now we can listen to all of these.
Need somebody. Need somebody.
Perfect. Now the last thing I want to do is these areas over here. instead of going up higher, I actually want these to come down. So if we listen to this one on its own, I'm going to select all three of these. Now, instead of holding Alt or Option, I'm just going to click, and I need to drag until I have the pitch that I hear in my head. So for this, where we have this note as the lead vocal, I think we'll bring it down to you. So we'll go to, but we need this one. Let's listen to the two of those together. Perfect. Now let's go to this one over here. This one's going to be a little bit different. We'll highlight all three of these, and we need to find the notes that we need to land on. This one, and I think this is G. And this one. Let's play these.
Need somebody like you.
And then the last one is actually going to be the same as the very first one. So we have F sharp, G, F sharp. So we'll scroll over to this, highlight all three of these. F sharp, G, I'll use the option modifier, and then F sharp. Let's listen to that.
Need somebody like you.
Perfect. Let's go back to the beginning and let's have a listen to how everything sounds together. I'm going to come out of full screen mode and let's come out of solo.
Guess I need somebody like you. Need somebody like you. Need somebody like you.
That is perfect. That's exactly how I'm hearing this in my head. Now, one other thing that we can do, we can adjust the formant for this harmony that we've created. And essentially, there's two different reasons why you might want to do this. One would be to make it sound a little bit more natural, especially if you've done any drastic changes. So for example, if you go anywhere past a couple semitones, then you might want to consider adjusting the formant so that any of the changes that you're making to the pitch, they sound as transparent as possible or as natural as possible. On the other side of that same coin, though, we have the completely opposite. Maybe you want to have something that sounds really processed and you want to have a formant that is either a lot lower or a lot higher, or you need to fit it in context of the track. Maybe you're adding this as your last step and you want to use some formant adjustments to make it pop out and stick above the mix so that you don't have to have the level too high. So it's occupying a different frequency. There's a number of different reasons why you might want to do this, but it's very easy to do. I'm going to click the solo key. Let's go full screen. And let me right click, and now we will go to the adjust, and let's edit the shift of formants. Now, we need to know where we're going to work till, so we went right up until this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a point here to lock it down after, and then we'll put a point here, and then I'll put a point before and another one before. Now, if you click any one of these, and then we hold shift and we click another, we can now move these together. And let's take a listen.
Guess I need somebody like you. Need somebody like you.
I can go down even lower.
Guess I need somebody like you.
Or I can go down the complete opposite direction and I could go really high.
Guess I need somebody.
It all depends on what sounds right in context of the track. So if we come out of solo and we listen, let's actually bring ourselves back to here.
Guess I need somebody like you. Need somebody
Let's bring it up.
like you. Need somebody like you. Again, guess I need somebody.
In general, I think I'm pretty happy with everything sitting there. Now I'm going to give you one last bonus tip, and this is something that is so useful. So we had our lead vocal. We created a harmony track by using the lead vocal as a starting point, making a few tweaks to how tight we're adjusting the tuning, and then actually finding a harmony that works. But wouldn't it be cool if that was a double? Because a lot of the times when you have harmonies, they might be panned out hard left, hard right, and you have your lead vocal anchoring things down right in the center. In that case, we actually have the ability to do something very simply. So I'm going to go back here for a second. Let's go back to the pitch and time settings. I'm going to click the B key. And in this case, instead of creating a match process, let's create a doubler process. In terms of the length, I only need this to be a very specific length. We went up till right about here. And now in terms of the presets, I'm going to go to factory presets and let's choose mono vocal mild. So keep in mind, the lead vocal that we used as a starting point has the exact same timing as the guide. Exactly, but they do have a different pitch. So they will have a little bit of separation. But now if I want to create even more separation with this harmony, if we activate a new doublet process and we make it mono, this is going to do the trick. So for the input, let's choose the harmony and the output is going to be automatic. Now let's create this new process. So now, keep in mind, we also made a formant change. If we listen to the two of these together,
Guess I need somebody.
Perfect. Now let's pan these out hard left and hard right, because that's what I would do if I was actually mixing this in context.
Guess I need somebody.
Now let's bring in our lead vocal.
Guess I need somebody like you.
Maybe we'll adjust the level a little bit. We can bring these down, let's say somewhere around minus 3.5. We'll match that on this side. And now let's take a listen to everything in context.
Guess I need somebody like you. Need somebody like you. Need somebody like you.
Okay, so if you decide at any moment that you want to make a slight change to those harmonies, we can do so just by clicking the main harmony track. So if I did want to tweak that formant, maybe I wanted to go the other way, let's go back into the edit shift of formants. We just need to make sure that we select the formant points over here, and now I can go the other way. Let's listen to everything together now with that formant changed to a little bit higher.
Guess I need somebody like you. Need somebody like you. Need somebody like you.
So that is using Revoice Pro 5 to create harmony tracks when you don't have any that have been previously recorded. And the bonus tip is then creating a mono doubler process of the harmony track, so you can pan them out as a stereo pair and get a realistic sounding pair of harmony doubles as if though they were recorded that way. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you for more in the next video.